Hey everyone, Rich from Rich TCG Bets here. Hopefully you guys are having a great 2026 so far. We are 3 days in. By the time I'm recording this, but just wanted to create kind of like a recap of what I was able to do in 2025 and kind of like where my collection investments ended as a part one. So this video will be part one, and then as a part two, talk about what I am looking to buy in 2026. So it's kind of more of a forum, kind of like sit back, listen to this video. I'll have some like graphics and stuff if you're interested to see what I have. But at the end of the day, just more discussion of why I have certain things and why I don't have other things. And then, like I said, the part two is going to be discussing what I want to get in 2026. And obviously, what I want and what I will differ, or will, like, just with money and expenses and everything. But at the end of the day, if I had the money, like, that's what I would do. That will be part two. So let's go ahead and get started. But before I do that, make sure to like and subscribe this video if you're not already to subscribe to the channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with Pokemon, because that's where I primarily have most of my investments and collection in. And again, this is going to just be sealed. I do have a lot of cards as well. I have like a 151 master set. I'm working on a Prismatic Evolutions master set, which is stupid of me, but I love it. And a few others, one like SV Base, Obsidian Flames. I've sold a bunch, but anywho, let's start with booster boxes. This is where most of my sealed collection is. So for every set in the SV era, I have at least one booster box. So I have 2 SV Base, 3 Paldea Evolved, 2 Obsidian Flames, 3 Paradox Rift, 3 Temporal Forces, 3 Twilight Masquerade, 2 Stellar Crown, 3 Surging Sparks, 2 Journey Together, 1 Destined Rivals, 2 Mega Evolution, and 2 Phantasmal Flames. So I have everything in the SV era and everything so far in the Mega set. I used to have Sword and Shield, but I'll be honest, I was pretty new at the investing, and I had bought a Lost Origin and Silver Tempest for 120, and Astral Radiance for like $120, $130. They shot up to like 240, 250, and I sold them thinking like, wow, I am awesome. I just doubled my profit. And now some of those boxes are 500 plus. So rookie mistakes, lessons have been learned, and this is kind of where I'm at right now. I will say I did have booster box cases, sealed cases of the sets 1 through 8. So all 6 that you see on the left side, 1 through 9, and then I had Stellar, Surging, and Journey. But I wanted to buy some more product that I didn't have, and so I opened the case, and me personally, I told myself like I want to sell at X%. And with the boom, it came a lot sooner than what I thought. And so I did open the case and sell about half of everything that I had for a large sale. There's a video, I think like almost a year ago on the channel that talks about it. But I was able to make a lot of plays with that and take my family on a nice trip. But that's what I have currently booster box wise. As far as Elite Trainer boxes, I don't really like these, mainly just because they're a lot harder to store. I understand the importance of like PCETBs especially, and at one point I think I've had every PCETB, but I have sold them just because they're too bulky. They rip easily. Like, they're harder to protect than a booster box in my opinion. So I've sold a lot of them over time. But like, there are like Prismatic Evolutions. You can see going through the list, I have 1 Evolving Skies Espeon, 1 Evolving Skies Umbreon, 4 regular Prismatic Evolutions, 4 PCETB Prismatic Evolutions, and then I have 2 Ascended Rival that I've pre-ordered. And Prismatic Evolutions, for me, it was a no-brainer to have these PCETBs. The Evolving Skies I bought probably this time 2 years ago for $65 each. Amazing deal. They're close to 400 each now, and so I definitely scored, and I normally would have taken profits on any other product, but this is really my only Evolving Skies I have. So I want to just kind of hold these for the long term. And so they do have tiny rips on the back, like the tiniest ones. And so I know at the end of the day, I'm only going to be able to sell for like 80-85% of market. So I told myself, once I'm able to sell and get like 500 each, a total of 1,000, that's probably when I will sell. But that still has got a while away. unless it doubles again this year, and then in that case, I'll be selling at the end of the year. But that's what I have for ETP wise. Collection boxes. I am not the biggest fan of collection boxes, but I've been able to get these at MSRP for the most part. So I've bought them. But again, they're really big and bulky. I did get a big tote to fit a lot of these, but like even then, all these don't fit in one tote. But I have 2 Blooming Waters, so the 151, one Prismatic Premium Collection from Sam's Club, 2 of each of the Glaceon and Leafeon V-Star collection boxes from the Sword and Shield era. These actually contain, I want to say 2, but maybe 3 Evolving Skies per box. So that's like where I have the rest of my Evolving Skies. I am not married to these. Probably something I will sell this year just because, again, like the collection boxes take a lot of space, and a lot of the value comes from it being really minty and like the packs inside. And so I don't trust myself keeping it super minty much longer. I've had them for about like 7-8 months at this point, and I probably won't sell them this year, but 2027, if all these guys gets closer to $50 a pack, I'll probably make my move then. I have 1 Prismatic figure collection, and then I have a Charizard UPC. It's a cool product. I missed out on the original Charizard UPC, so this is something that I'm just holding long term, hoping it gets to $400 someday, and if so, that's when I'll sell. Outside of that, I have some like just packs is what I call it. So I've got a 151 booster bundle display. That's like kind of like my pride and joy. Unfortunately, there is like a little dent in one of the corners, but the seal is perfectly intact. It's something that I got for like $290, and I remember thinking like, wow, I'm spending so much on Pokemon. This is, I think, November 2023. I still remember being in my mother-in-law's house ordering it, and it's now like $1,400, $1,500. So that's been a great buy. And to me, like outside the Blooming Waters, it's like the only 151 I have, and I want to keep it because I know 151 is so amazing. I've got 4 Prismatic Evolutions booster bundles, 1 Shrouded Fable. I opened a couple that I got from the Pokemon Center just like a month ago, and I'll just keep one just for a keepsake. I don't really have any need to open it. I've got 8 Destined Rivals sleeves, 1 Evolving Sky sleeve, 1 Lost Origin sleeve, 1 Vivid Voltage sleeve. So like those are just kind of like will be in my collection forever just because they are so small and compact and are just in like a bubble wrap that I probably will never really pull out. But as far as the totals go, the total market value currently is around 12.4K. I spent 3.1K, so I have 4x'd my money exactly, basically, which is kind of crazy, up 300%. But that's where I am with the Pokemon. Again, I'm probably going to get rid of some of the collection boxes just to make some more space in my basement. But the booster boxes, I am doing everything that I can to not have to sell those. Just because I do truly believe that the booster boxes are going to be the best value. You hear it all the time. You watch a lot of videos and people talk about how booster boxes are king. And I truly believe that, looking at the data, looking at previous sets, that is the one that blows up the most, and in a good way blows up. And like I said, they're really small, so they're just easy to keep in my collection and keep in totes and stuff like that in acrylics. Now looking at the Lorcana side of things, I actually recently just made a big sale, and I sold booster box cases of set 3 through 8. So that's Into the Inklings, Ursula's Return, Shimmering Skies, Azurite Sea, Arceus Island, and Reign of Jafar. I sold them, to be completely honest, for a little bit of a loss, but the reason I sold them was two reasons. One, I wanted to be able to invest more into Pokemon and use some of the money for that. 2, Christmas was around the corner. I wanted to just make sure that I could just pay for presents easily and be good with that. And 3, we've got some trips coming up that I just wanted to kind of just pay for right away and not have to have anything sit on credit cards. And I wanted to use that for that. And I guess you could add a 4th point. I really don't see these booster box cases jumping a ton in 2026. If you take a look at like, this is my thinking. I bought everything at the end of 2024 that I own. So up to like the current release. So like Into the Inklings case, I bought Shimmering Skies, Ursula's Return, And then they announced rotations. And my thought was, oh, when these sets get rotated out, they're just going to only increase in volume or value and never decrease. But they decreased. And so it's definitely because it's not as mature as something like Pokemon where people are collecting. It's just because these sets weren't that good. And because they're rotated out, no one wants them anymore. And so I think that in a year from now, I can basically buy them at the price they currently are right now. So I didn't want to just keep sitting on this money. I wanted to try to put it somewhere else, make a better play on it, and then come back and buy some of these. But I did hold on to the first chapter, booster box case. That's one that will be like the last thing Lorcana related I ever let go. I have Rise of the Floodborn booster box case still, Fabled, and Whispers in the Well. And so I told myself, sell everything up to Fabled minus the first two, just because of the iconic rarity in Fabled. I just know that there's going to be value in those future sets and more of a reason to open those sets in the future than something like Into the Inklands or Shimmering Skies. Although I love that Mufasa and Shimmering Skies, iconics are just iconic, you know? People are going to want to rip those, and that's why I have that. And so I just have those four booster box cases. I've got a few of the Costco first chapter binder collections, and then I have the D23 collection box as well too. And that's kind of like the extent of my Lorcana collection. So for all that, I've spent about $3,200, sorry, $3,100, and the current price of everything is like almost 33. So I'm like up $200. Nothing crazy, but for me, Lorcana is not something that is going to be, it's not going to be a quick hold. As I tell you, I sold 6 booster box cases, but for the long term, I've adjusted my strategy in Lorcana to really want to focus on these things. Oh yeah, I do also have an individual booster box of the first chapter as well too. That can be added in there as well. I forgot to add that in the numbers. I just totally forgot about it up until now. But that's what I have on the Lorcana side. And for me, Lorcana is going to be a much longer hold. I'm not expecting to see a ton of growth in there, which again is why I wanted to pull a lot of money out of there, just because I didn't want my money to sit for years. I still think it's a great investment. I just personally, with like 3 kids and the amount of traveling and vacationing we like to do and family we don't have to go see, but we love to go see throughout the country. I wanted to just make sure I had that money available to do the things that we love, to see the people we love. But that's me personally. Again, I just wanted to make this video to kind of document where my collection is. It'll be interesting to see where we're at the end of the year, to see what I still have, what I don't have, what's new, what's not new, and how my portfolio has grown over these next 12 months. And so again, part 2 will be me talking about the products that I do want to buy the most in 2026. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and tune in next time. I'll see you all in the next video.